highly energetic. The next thing which you should understand, that so bond fission is what? It is actually the breaking. Fission means what? Breaking. So bond fission means breaking of bond. You know that during chemical reactions, bonds are broken down. So that breaking of bond in a chemical reaction is known as bond fission. You know that here we are discussing about the organic compounds, means covalent bonds, right? We know that covalent bonds are formed by what? By sharing of electrons, right? So when the bonds will break, electrons will go somewhere, okay? Either they will go with one atom or the another atom, or it can go to both of them equally. So that sharing of electron means where the electron will go depends on what? It depends on electronegativity. And what is this electronegativity? Electronegativity is the tendency to attract shared pair of electrons. Okay? Now what can happen during any bond breaking? Suppose there is a bond between A and B. So what can happen? There can happen the equal bond break, means the electron of A goes back to the A and electron of B goes back to the B. So that is represented by this dot. So these species are known with the name of free radical. Whatever the part of A was there in the bond, A took away during that break. Whatever the part of B was there, it also took back. So it is known as homolytic fission. From the term itself you can understand homo means what? Same. Lytic means what? Breaking. So it means equal things are given back to those atoms. That is homolytic fission. Or it can happen that A took all the electrons. This was electron sharing and A took all the electrons. So A minus will be formed and B is deficient of electrons. So B positive will be formed. Now these are known as cation and anion. Okay, these are known as cation and anion. And in which condition this will happen? This will happen whenever electronegativity, means the tendency to attract the shared pair of electrons of A was greater than that of B. Okay, this will happen in that case. In the case when the shared pair of electrons are taken back by the B, what will happen? A will be deficient of electrons, so I can write it as A positive, and B is full of electrons, even extra electron is there, so it is B negative. And when will this happen? This will happen when the electronegativity of B will be greater than that of what? That is A. Again, it is known as cation and anion pair. Right? These are the cases. In these cases, that is this one and this one, what is the thing which you should note is that this is a type of heterolytic fission. What I said? Heterolytic fission. Hetero means different, right? And lytic means breaking. So it is different breaking. So if now I would like to write few points about homolytic fission. So if I summarize all the things for homolytic fission, what I can say? I can say that during any chemical reaction, if bonded electron pair are cleaved equally, then such fission is known as what? Homolytic fission. Fine. Electronegativity difference may or may not be 0. Okay. When the electronegativity difference is 0, means everything is shared equally. But if it is not 0, so different factors play a role, and these different factors can be sunlight, it can be high temperature, it can be electrolysis, it can be any metal, it can be other free radical, it can be gaseous phase. Okay. Suppose if I ask you a question that I give you some reactions, now if I ask you that in which of the following homolytic fission can occur. So for solving such questions, you must remember these factors by heart. So discussing for water, it is a polar compound. So polar compound will give the polarity to the compound. It is not going to give you any homolytic fission. Right? Are you getting my point? That the polar thing in itself is going to polarize the molecule. It is not going to give you the free radical. So that cannot be our answer. For the methane, this H nu signifies sunlight. Sunlight is full of photons. So it can directly attack to the bond and can give you free radical. Even in fact, the sunlight reactions always give you the free radicals. Discussing for CH3COONA, when current is passed, so it gives the energy to the bond, or you can say that it is energetically derived, that it gives you free radical, or you can say the energy in itself is very powerful to give back to the electrons to those species from where these electrons were coming. So it can give you the free radical. Again, this is sodium, that is metal, and we have discussed that in the presence of metal, it is responsible for the homolytic fission. So yes, it can give you the homolytic fission. Now let's discuss for heterolytic fission. So in heterolytic fission, what happens during any chemical reaction? If bonded electron pairs are cleaved unequally, why this happens? This happens due to the electronegativity difference. So such fission is known as heterolytic fission. And as I was discussing this example, I told you that polar compounds induce a polarity. So now you can understand that polar solvents can be a factor of giving you heterolytes, that is anions and cations. So what are heterolytes? That is cation, and this one as anion. So what happens during any reaction? Reactants are there, okay, and products we get. But we don't get this thing directly. No. What happens? First of all, any reaction intermediate is formed, right? Then it gives the product. So what is this? This is intermediate. Now we need to understand that what these intermediates can be. These intermediates can be carbocation. Carbocation means carbon is there, cation, that is positive charge is there. This can be carbanion, means carbon is there and on the carbon negative charge will come, that is carbanion. It can be carbon free radical. What it can be? It can be carbon free radical, means carbon will come and on it free radical will come, right? A carbene can come. What is this carbene? This carbene possesses positive and negative. Okay. Or it can possess two free electrons. So it is carbene. You can get nitrene also. Now you know that whenever ene will come means positive and negative is there. Nitro come means nitrogen is there. So this can you get. You can also get benzene. Note, this is not benzene. This is what? This is benzene, right? So this will come as a reaction intermediate. Let me draw this structure again. Benzene is what? Reaction intermediate. Now you need to understand that these intermediates are going to give you the product. Okay, means intermediates are unstable. That's why they are changing themselves from one thing to another, right? These are
classes, these gaps go unnoticed. With one-to-one mentoring, chemistry becomes logical and real improvement begins.